At the starts of the story, we see a young woman drowning near a lonely island. She is struggling to stay alive. But who is this woman? How did she end up here, all alone in the middle of the ocean? To understand this, we need to go back to the beginning. We are introduced to two sisters, Lori and her younger sister Erin. The sisters have come to Fiji for a holiday. Lori looks calm from the outside, but deep inside she is carrying a lot of pain. One afternoon, while having lunch at a hotel, Lori finally gathers the courage to tell Erin the biggest secret of her life. Lori tells Erin that she recently found out her husband Mike is cheating on her. Not only that, he is having an affair with another woman. The most shocking part is that this woman is also pregnant. Hearing this, Erin is stunned. She cannot believe what she is hearing. She asks Lori why she is still staying with a man who betrayed her trust. Erin tells her sister that she should leave him and start a new life. But Lori is very confused. She feels emotionally trapped. She doesn't know whether to fight for her marriage or walk away from it. She is scared of making the wrong decision. Then Erin says something that shocks Lori even more. Erin admits that she already knew about Mike's affair for a long time. She explains that she kept quiet because she didn't want her sister's marriage to fall apart. Instead of understanding Erin's feelings, Lori becomes extremely angry. She feels betrayed by her own sister. She accuses Erin of hiding the truth and protecting Mike. Soon the conversation turns into a heated argument. Hurt and angry, Erin storms out and leaves. The next day, both sisters are supposed to return home by flight. Lori reaches the airport early. She waits for Erin, but Erin doesn't show up. Because of the fight, Erin had kept her phone on silent and missed all of Lori's calls. As time passes, Lori realizes Erin is not coming. After waiting for a long time, Lori finally decides to board the flight alone. Just before the plane takes off, an air hostess asks Lori one last time if her sister's coming. She tells Lori that the plane can wait for 5 more minutes. But Lori, still upset and tired, says no. She believes Erin won't come. The plane takes off. Inside the flight, everything seems normal at first. Lori meets an elderly couple who are traveling to celebrate their wedding anniversary. She talks with them, and the mood inside the plane feels light and happy. But suddenly, the plane starts shaking violently. Fear spreads among the passengers. Even inside the cockpit, the pilots panic. Within moments, the plane enters a strong storm. Heavy wind and rain hit the aircraft. Because of the bad weather, a fire breaks out. The pilot tries hard to control the plane, but slowly, he loses control. Soon, the aircraft crashes into a dense jungle. When the news reaches the government and police, chaos breaks out. Rescue teams search for the plane for many days, but they find no wreckage and no survivors. In the end, the case is closed. Everyone believes the plane crashed into the ocean and sank. When Erin hears this news, she is completely shattered. She feels guilty and heartbroken. She begs the authorities to continue searching for her sister, but no one listens. Everyone believes Lori is dead. Even Lori's husband, Mike, shows no real concern. He quickly accepts that Lori is gone and moves on. But Erin refuses to believe this. Deep in her heart, she feels that her sister is still alive. She decides not to give up. She starts investigating on her own. One day, she finds something unbelievable. Lori's credit card was used just a few days ago in a small village in Fiji. This discovery fills Erin with hope. She immediately informs Mike, but once again, he shows no interest. With no support from anyone, Erin decides to search for her sister alone. She tracks the location of the shop and travels there by herself. As Erin moves closer to the truth, the story takes us back to the day of the plane crash, where everything truly began. After the plane crashes, it falls deep into a thick jungle. By pure luck, the seat where Lori was sitting turns out to be the safest seat on the entire plane. Because of this, she survives the crash. When Lori frees herself and steps outside, she slowly understands the truth. She is trapped on a completely empty island. There are no people, no houses, no roads, and no signs that anyone lives there. The island is silent and frightening. Nearby, Lori sees the pilot trying to save an air hostess. A sharp metal rod has pierced his stomach, and he is badly hurt. Even in this painful condition, the pilot is still trying to help others. Lori rushes to him, and together they manage to pull him out of the broken plane. Inside the wreckage, there is also a woman traveling with her baby. The baby is crying loudly, scared and hungry. The pilot asks Lori to search the plane and help anyone who might still be alive. Now we see the most painful part of the crash. Most of the passengers are already dead. Some are badly injured, and some are beyond saving. After checking everyone, they realize that only 6 people survived the crash. The survivors are Lori Daniel Pilot, Pete Amber, a businessman, a woman traveling with her baby Felix, a young boy named Jack, an elderly man who was traveling to celebrate his anniversary and is also a medical expert. Because the elderly man has medical knowledge, he tries his best to treat the injured survivors. He cleans wounds, stops bleeding, and gives whatever help he can. Everyone supports him. Sadly, even after all their efforts, the air hostess does not survive. Her death leaves everyone silent and broken. Soon the group realizes something terrifying. The island is completely deserted. No matter how far they look, there are no humans anywhere. To make things worse, there is no phone network. They cannot call for help. They are truly alone. Understanding their situation, the survivors work together. They go back to the plane and collect whatever useful items they can find: food, water, bags, and supplies. They decide to use everything very carefully, little by little, so they can survive for as long as possible. Meanwhile, Amber's condition remains weak. Her baby keeps crying from hunger. Seeing the helpless child, Lori feels deep sympathy. She takes the baby and walks toward the jungle, hoping to calm him down. While walking, Lori discovers a small pond, but suddenly she notices something terrifying inside it: a crocodile. Shocked and scared, Lori immediately runs away. She barely escapes and saves her life. She rushes back and warns everyone about the crocodile, which increases their fear even more. After this, the group makes a difficult decision. They decide to let the bodies of the dead passengers float away in the water. This includes the air hostess, which makes Lori very emotional. One woman Lori had become friends with during the flight is also dead. She had come to celebrate her anniversary. Her husband cries helplessly as he lets her body drift away. Now, stranded on this unknown island, no one knows what time it is or what will happen next. Danger could come at any moment. Life can change in seconds, and no one knows who will survive this nightmare. During this time, the survivors suddenly notice a ship passing far away in the ocean. The moment they see it, everyone becomes excited. Hope fills their hearts. They believe this could be their chance to be saved. Without wasting time, they decide to send a signal to the ship. They quickly gather dry wood and leaves and plan to burn them to create thick smoke. But when Lori opens her purse to light the fire, she is shocked. Her lighter is missing. She clearly remembers placing it in her purse herself. This can only mean one thing: someone among them has stolen it. Soon, fear and anger take over. Everyone starts blaming each other. Voices rise, arguments begin, and time slips away. Because of this confusion and delay, the ship slowly sails out of sight. Once again, they lose a golden chance to be rescued. Later, Felix goes to the sea and tries to catch fish using his spare gun. At the same time, Lori enters the jungle with Uncle Jack to search for fruits. While looking around, Lori makes a shocking discovery. Inside a hollow tree, she finds a hidden chocolate bar. This makes the situation even worse. It becomes clear that someone has been secretly stealing food and hiding it for later. This discovery leads to a serious fight among the survivors. Everyone is angry and suspicious. Suddenly, Jack steps forward and takes the blame. He says that he stole the chocolate, but Lori does not believe him. She knows Jack is a kind and honest man. She feels he would never do something so selfish. Still, Jack feels deeply guilty. He is already very weak because of hunger. On top of that, he lost his wife in the plane crash, and his heart is completely broken. He starts believing that his life has no value anymore, and that he has become a burden on the others. Thinking that his death might help the rest survive, Jack quietly walks into the ocean to end his life. When Lori learns about this, she is completely shattered. Jack leaves all his belongings behind. Later, Lori carefully checks Jack's things one by one. While doing this, she notices a large container lying near the shore. It clearly looks like it fell from a ship. Everyone believes that it might contain food or water, but reaching it is extremely dangerous because they would have to jump from a very high cliff. No one dares to take the risk, but Lori decides that she has no choice. She gathers her courage and jumps off the cliff into the water. The fall is severe, and as soon as she hits the water, she begins to drown. Just in time, Felix jumps in and saves her. He also manages to pull the container out of the water. For a moment, everyone feels hopeful again. But when they open the container, their hearts sink. There is no food and no water inside. The container is filled only with hair dryers. Seeing this, all hope fades once more. The survivors realize that staying alive on this island is becoming harder with every passing moment. Meanwhile, Felix comes up with a smart idea. He notices the hair dryers inside the container and says that their wires can be used. If they connect the wires together, they can tie wooden logs and make a raft. This raft might help them escape from the island. Everyone feels hopeful again and agrees with Felix's plan. After some time, all of them work together. They collect wooden logs and use the wires from the hair dryers to tie everything tightly. Finally, a raft is ready, but there is one serious problem. The raft is small and can carry only one person. After thinking carefully, they decide that Felix should go. He is strong and has the best chance of reaching help. Before leaving, Felix teaches Lori how to use his spare gun, so she can catch fish and survive while he is gone. By now, Lori and Felix have grown very close. Earlier, Lori did not like Felix at all, but now she feels comfortable and safe with him. A strong bond has formed between them. Felix has also quietly fallen in love with Lori. At the same time, we see that Pete and Amber are also getting closer to each other. As night falls, everyone packs their belongings and prepares for the next day. Before going to sleep, Lori goes to Felix and gives him her credit card. She tells him that he might need it if he manages to escape and reach civilization. Felix puts the card in his bag and goes to sleep. Soon, everyone falls asleep. Late at night, the injured pilot, Daniel, wakes up quietly. Without telling anyone, he steals Felix's bag and moves toward the raft. He plans to escape alone. Lori wakes up and sees him leaving. She runs after him and begs him to stop. She tells him not to leave them behind, but Daniel does not listen. He is desperate to save himself. Left with no other choice, Lori attacks him with the spare gun. Daniel is badly injured, but even then, he manages to get onto the raft and escape into the ocean. From here, the story moves back to the present time. Erin, while searching for her sister, finally reaches the shop where Lori's credit card was last used. With the help of the shop owner, she checks the CCTV footage. What she sees shocks her completely. The man using the card is the same pilot from Lori's plane crash. Erin quickly finds Daniel's address and goes to his house. There she meets a young woman who claims to be Daniel's daughter. Erin shows her the CCTV video from Fiji, proving that Daniel is alive. The girl starts crying. Together, they go to another house to look for Daniel, but he is not there. While searching the house, Erin finds some strange items. Slowly, she realizes the truth. The girl is not Daniel's real daughter. Erin also finds a bag full of money and tries to hide it. At that moment, the girl becomes suspicious. She understands that Erin knows the truth. Suddenly, she pulls out a gun and points it at Erin. Just then, Daniel arrives. He attacks the girl, knocks her unconscious, and saves Erin's life. Erin immediately asks him about her sister Lori. Daniel lies and tells her that Lori is dead. He also warns Erin to leave immediately and keep his survival a secret. While they are talking, Erin suddenly gets a phone call. It is from the same girl. She has kidnapped Daniel's real daughter, Natasha. Natasha cries and begs her father to come and save her. Daniel and Erin rush toward his house. On the way, Daniel asks Erin to hide outside. He hides the bag of money and enters the house alone. Inside, the girl asks him about Erin. Daniel lies again and says he dropped her somewhere on the way. Then the girl gives him a final threat. She says that if Daniel wants his daughter alive, he must take her back to the same island where the plane crashed. With no other choice left, Daniel is forced to agree. He prepares to take her back to the island, even though he knows how dangerous it is. Now Daniel and the unknown woman hire a small plane to return to the island. What they don't know is that Erin is secretly hiding inside the same plane. She has followed them because she wants to find her sister at any cost. After some time, the plane reaches the island. Daniel lands it a little far from the main area. As soon as the woman steps down, she starts searching for the businessman Pete. Meanwhile, Erin quietly gets out of the plane and begins looking for Lori. On the other side of the island, life looks very different. Lori and the remaining survivors are living peacefully. They have built small huts and have started living like couples. Slowly, the island has become their new home. In fact, except for Lori, no one wants to leave anymore. Lori loves Felix and wants a future with him, but deep inside, she misses her sister badly. She feels incomplete without Erin. That night, something shocking happens. Lori finally finds her missing lighter. She realizes that Amber had hidden it all this time. When Lori confronts Amber, she becomes furious. She blames Amber for trapping everyone on the island. Lori says that if Amber had given the lighter that day, they could have signaled the ship and gone home. But Amber admits the truth. She was unhappy with her life and did not want to return. After being scolded, Amber walks back to her hut, broken and silent. The next morning, Lori and Felix hear loud screams. They run toward the sound and see Pete crying in pain. He tells them that he had an argument with Amber. In anger, he scolded her, and Amber ran into the sea to end her life. Hearing this, Felix immediately rushes toward the water to search for her. While this is happening, Lori finds a photograph of Amber and Pete together. She is shocked. She asks Pete why he never told them that he knew Amber before the crash. Pete avoids answering clearly. Slowly, fear enters Lori's mind. She starts suspecting Pete. She wonders if Pete killed Amber to hide the truth. Feeling unsafe, Lori runs into the jungle. Pete follows her. At the same time, on another part of the island, Erin finally finds Daniel, who is hiding from the unknown woman. Daniel promises to help Erin reach Lori, but first they must escape. Daniel makes a plan. He will distract the woman, and Erin will secretly steal her boat and start it. They try to escape, but the woman notices Daniel running and shoots him. Erin manages to escape in the boat, but Daniel is badly injured. He has lost too much blood and knows he is dying. Before his death, Daniel tells Erin the full truth. He reveals that the plane crash was not an accident. It was a planned crime. Daniel and Pete were both involved. Before takeoff, Pete paid Daniel a large amount of money to force the plane to land. Pete wanted only one person dead, Amber. Amber was not just a passenger, she was Pete's girlfriend. The baby was also Pete's child. Pete wanted Amber gone so he could live peacefully with his wife. But bad weather ruined the plan, and the plane crashed for real. Daniel also tells Aaron that the unknown woman came to the island to kill Pete because she lost her entire family in the same crash. After revealing everything, Daniel dies. Before his final breath, he tells Aaron the way to reach Lori. The next morning, Aaron finally finds her sister. At that moment, Lori is hiding in the jungle, trying to escape from Pete. When Lori turns around and sees Aaron, both sisters hug each other tightly and cry with happiness. Aaron begs Lori to leave the island with her immediately, but Lori refuses. She cannot leave Felix and the baby behind. They return to the hut together. Suddenly, Pete appears and captures Felix. He demands the boat key from Aaron. When they refuse, Pete tries to kill Felix. At that moment, Lori attacks Pete. In a final struggle, she kills him, ending the danger forever. After this, Aaron again asks everyone to leave the island, but Felix does not want to go. He loves the island and the peaceful life. Lori has fallen deeply in love with him, so she decides to stay with Felix and the child. Aaron, after finally finding her sister, returns home alone. Somewhere else, Daniel's real daughter Natasha never gets her father back, but she finds the hidden bag of money, which gives her some comfort. In the final scene, we see Lori living happily on the island. She is now pregnant and starting a new chapter of her life. And with this, the story comes to an end. See you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.